Can you say that you found your purpose after awakening?
Oh, yeah.
Purpose in life?
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to share your purpose?
Oh, it just sounds so. Well, I see mine trying to analyze how I will express it, but the life and connection with it, deeper connection, deeper experience of life, became the purpose itself. Deeper experience of life in this moment, and I could see how when I get a bit more to the surface, this taste gets more dull and life loses its meaning. And then straight away, as soon as there is discomfort, it means that I came too far from connection with this moment. So therefore I have to switch into it. And what's interesting, to switch into connection with this moment, it's not necessary that I have to close my eyes, go into meditation, watch the sensation in my body. No, it's just the training that we do. But the connection with life is with life. So what my life is right now? My life right now is this chair supporting my body, and this cushion that is so soft and gentle, is cushy, and when I feel it I can already come back to here. But much more important is this connection in between me and this person that I'm interacting with you. Because behind you is the same energy that's behind me, behind our character, is the same energy that's right now creating this moment. And by being fully switched into this process of co-creation with you, I am coming closer to life, closer to life. And it's interesting that to awaken back then, like people was enough to go into cave and sit there and search for it within. Now, since our egoism is so big and we have progressed so much, and as human beings we have came across evolutionary paths to come deeper in the moment, to overcome our ego wall that's separating us from life, we need other people to jump into there. So I need to remove the self to switch deeper into you. And it's much easier after awakening, because I see that self is just illusion that I can put on, take off, put on, take off, take off. Yeah, and when in the methodology of the school that I'm learning, a big part is service, service in a team, because we have, let's say, one goal of creating something together, and my ego goes like, oh, I have this experience, and ego goes, oh, I have this experience in making that goal, and they're like, no, my experience is more right, and no, my experience is more right. No, I need to kill his experience to make my dominant. This is just ego patterns. But then there is this higher purpose, so we need to make goal happening, and usually for that higher purpose, which is awakening, deeper awakening of others, we can put that aside and just switching to co-creation. And usually that co-creation for the highest purpose gives the deepest moment, the deepest intensity. And I feel it a lot when I conduct retreats with my team. And each time, just now we finished Pradanta meditation course, and I could see how each time there is less and less of this egoism in team interaction. So after awakening, I see the ego, but it doesn't mean that it's not not there. But with this team service, I could see that there is less and less and less and less of this ego standing at all in between me and reality, between me and co-creation process. And this is already movement further. And through that, I feel deeper life, deeper connection with life, or with other people.
So your attitude to others have changed?
Oh, so much.
Do you interact differently?
Yeah, well, first of all, if to speak it very deeply, how it feels, you are me who is speaking with me.
I am you.
Yes, constantly like that. So awakening removes this barrier of seeing others as others. There is my own consciousness speaking to me to awaken me even deeper in each moment. And when I feel it constantly, I feel this presence, and through this presence I feel the deeper presence in you. So it's the same presence. same presence of the same thing. So therefore I cannot interact, like, you know, be not honest anymore or protect my position anymore, or like things like that. They become unnaturally. And there is this really strong sense of purity or impurity. Impurity is everything done and defined by ego. Purity is everything done from the soul level, from this deep presence. And there is only, now there is a choice. And each time I choose this kind of good side of mine, I go in deeper, deeper, deeper. So the first thing I've noticed after awakening, and through what I was awakening a lot, is my ex relationship. Yeah, that was really intensive, because I was really taught, my ego was trained before awakening through a relationship, because I was feeling discomfort and I was constantly blaming, bargaining for attention, keep on saying, oh, you don't call me first, you don't love me, I put so much, and blah, 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 feeling like the character was always not getting something enough. And with the process of learning in the school, after being at my first retreat, my heart started to open, and I began to feel more that I am the one who is creating all of that, and that pain is only the reflection of that I'm trying to separate and put responsibility on someone else. And after awakening, I had a big transformational process of what you felt like a confession of how much the ego was creating pain for the other person. My ego trying to protect itself was. And the first thing that changed is that from that moment I only want to create love. And it's not like, you know, love being pink snort. All this cheesy stuff. Oh, I love you so much. No, not like that. It's sincere desire for the person to also feel his soul more. And if I'm creating the circumstances of where the person could experience love, there is a chance that he will heal his soul more. If I create the circumstances where the person feels attacked or being somehow right or wrong, I'm again putting him into his personality. Mm-hmm. So the only criteria of love for me now is awakening. If I'm helping for the person to awaken or evolve in other way, to call it, I am being an input. I'm awakening myself through that. So I'm interacting with myself and I'm awakening myself, and that's how it works. There is no one but me.
So do you like see your ego from the side now?
There is no spaces like location. My ego is on the right.
Do you see ego in others?
Yeah, well, there is this... I'm very lucky to be in an environment of retreat center where each one is constantly doing inner work and searching for the depths. In general, that's the purpose of each single person here. And it's already creating this easier shift in relationship. As soon as ego clash, it's very quickly to be seen. Whether so people are more often touching awakening state here, many awakened people here already, so it's easy to like not play in the ego game much. Yet when I get into environment of like common society, kind of, it's so obvious when people have no life within and just act like mechanical bio-robots, like do that, do that, do that, and you look into their eyes, you can see that there is no light. After awakening, there is this feeling of light and this energy of life going through me and creating stuff around. And people that not awakened, they don't feel the connection with this light, with the source of this light within. And when they interact, they have this gray, like pale look and it's very obvious. It's just if we don't speak about interaction, if we speak just about their look, about the look. But if we speak about communication, it's very, very clearly could be seen when one is protecting the self, the oneself, straight away it's egoism. And whether the avatar is being just a conductor of this energy, so creating the process. So you either creating the process and being awakened, or you protecting the ego, doing something for the ego and being asleep. That's it.
Is there any dark sides of awakening?
Oh, this black wall behind it.
Do you know what is the dark night of the soul?
Uh,
Did you have it in your
well,
life?
I wouldn't say that I was ever deeply into dark night of the soul. I've been through cleansing of all the trash that I have accumulated by the age of 19, before awakening and after awakening. And each time it's painful. And if there were no support around, or commitment, or people that would remind me about my past, it would be easy to fall asleep again. Get stuck in the mind pattern and feel already this tremendous discomfort, but not knowing the way out. Yeah, so that's a part of it. You cannot avoid cleansing in the process of waking, because to disidentify yourself with this ego, to finally glue out of it, it's like doesn't want you out. The tension in the ego and discomfort has to grow to such a big size that it cannot be handled anymore, and then you can easily push away of it. That's internal process that I'm trying to put into some illustration. So yeah, growth of this tension is usually uncomfortable process. And then when you firstly detach, usually it's sometimes tries to stick to your back. And this process is also discomfortable. And it's you can also imagine yourself being this vessel. And you've been carrying this dirt with concepts and mind patterns and programs and fears and complexes and beliefs, and they've created these blocks and dirt and so on. And then there is this stream of pure water begins to come, and this plus of dirt begin to come to the surface. And when they come out of the glass, first they come to the surface, and that's the only thing you see. So it's this dirt begins to come up, and at some point that's the only thing I see. And it pushes even for deeper search of connection with this presence, with this energy that I feel, to not get involved into this negative pattern or block coming out. And what helps is the speed of development for this process to go very fast, and sometimes it's even happening that I don't notice it anymore. I'm just fully involved in the process, and this is cleansing happening. And then you're oh, meditation. Oh, new depths.
Do you see the energy?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you see it in others, or?
It's more in the space, and most often I see it either when I conduct retreats, and sometimes I see light. I see how the space begins to glow, and how there is this vivid light behind everything. And also the deepest moments I have out of retreat, they're usually with my partner. When there is deep inclusion and step even deeper under ego, or over ego, beyond, outside. So deeper into this presence of the true being, usually the space begins to change. Something similar to LSD experience. When face begins to become alive, when faces begin to change, when the pictures begin to, everything becomes alive. And this is the energy that moves everywhere. And it's very interesting, for example, when I conduct a practice, and I could see how my inner state creating what's happening around. And sometimes, for example, the cleansing will start with this person. He will yawn, and then the next person would catch the wave, and also will yawn, and like this wave of cleansing goes through the whole hole. And then, for example, one person being in resistance and don't want to sit with a straight back, and other people begin to feel discomfort, and it's enough to correct this one person for everyone to feel good. It's very interesting process, and I could see that I don't analyze it, I just see it in the space. And that's how energy working. It's manifested through these forms, material, through these people, through this one big process. And this process can be in anyhow, not just meditation. And how my attention directed there changes it. And that's how energy works. So from the presence I could feel this effect of energy on the space, and I can just direct it through attention and action. And it changes what's happening.
Can you say that you can manipulate or control the energy somehow?
There is no such desire to manipulate energy, or there is no idea as such at all. There is definitely, I know how to save the energy. I know how to make it stronger by keeping the attention in more focus. And avoiding like distraction and defocus of attention on entertainment, movies, ideas, blah 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 blah. So when we go in retreats, for example, we go into energy saving mode. So we avoid heavy foods for digestion. It doesn't go. We avoid intimate connection. We avoid of course entertainment, movies, social media, so on. So more energy focus of attention is in the body and in the service, in the action, in people. And I could see that there is more depth in those moments. It's easier to see tensions popping up and trying to involve into the game, so to say, before they even appear. And when, for example, my attention is less focused and I have more tasks and more intense life, sometimes it's the reaction to notice the tension is not so quick. It's interesting, yeah. So yeah, I know how to save the energy, I know how to use it, and I know how to direct it into, for example, a project to make it more successful, what I need to do. And it's always a search. It wouldn't always work for everyone the same way, in the way that one should limit themselves on one thing, the other one should do more skeza on that thing, and the third one should relax more.
Do you have guides?
Well, I have a teacher.
I know some people have guides when after the awakening they start to get more information through them. At least they say that they interact with guides. Do you have anything like that?
Well, it's a funny question, because when there is constantly me talking to me through anyone, it doesn't matter whether it will be in the form of an angel or form of a more subtle structures or in the form of you. It's the same me interacting with me. And any kind of subtle concept is also just a concept, as well as you being a concept and me being a concept. And it's just existing on this level of reality. If you go higher, there is just life. And it doesn't matter. So to say whether I see higher vibrational beings or low vibrational beings, I don't see them as forms or anything like that. There is just this constant contact with life and some direct answers that I don't name or put into anything. Like, oh, this is my angel, talk to me. Oh, this is my inner voice. Oh, this is nothing like that. Just direct knowledge. What can you put direct knowledge in? What kind of form will you put direct knowledge? Oh, this was God. Oh, this was probably Krishna. Oh, this was probably Buddha. Although, at some level, they exist. at higher vibrational frequencies, there are those teachers and maybe some angels and that sort of stuff. It's also just a form that's been at the end, it's just a game of consciousness, or a big consciousness. But the task that I have in this life and that we put as a goal in our community, and to which our teacher is bringing us, is exit out of all games, including the most subtle games. Because playing with angels is still a subtle game. And the path towards it is direct connection with the source of light, and more this conduction of this light through yourself. At the end, there is nothing but this light, because it fulfills each material form and makes it come alive. For the angels, it's also more subtle material form, but still material form. Yeah, so become the light, that's the path.